What's up guys, GQ back with tech creation where I use technology for recreation. So I started with the Jaybird Runs and then upgraded to the Jabra Elite Active 65Ts, 2 warranty claims later since those malfunctioned, and now we're here. The Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless Earbuds. Expensive, fantastic, and also disappointing all at the same time. So let's talk about them. Alright, so let's begin with that design. With a $300 price tag, a good chunk of what you're paying for is style. This stitched fabric charging case is unlike any other charging case that I've seen, and I gotta admit, it looks and feels great in the hand. The obvious benefit here is a better grip, so it won't slip out of your hand as easy as some other charging cases would. The clean black line going around the case contrasts against the gray nicely, and attractive design choice, definitely my taste, and I've always said that gray is appropriate when it comes to tech. Now my only logical concern here is that fabric is fabric at the end of the day, and it's definitely not going to look this clean over the course of time, I'll tell you that. And it's held up pretty well for me for the past few weeks, but that's because I've been careful with it. But best believe it will get darker, so just be sure that your hands are clean, because grease and oil would have a field day with a material like this. Aside from that, I had no problems carrying this case around. It didn't bust open by itself in my pocket or anything like that, so that's always a good thing. Now, the style carries over onto the earbuds themselves. They have this premium feel with an attractive aluminum gradient on both earbuds that are actually touch-sensitive buttons branded with the Sennheiser logo right in the middle. And overall, I would say first impressions are really off to a good start. One thing to note though, the outer part of the earbuds, the part where you actually hold it, is very slick, so just be careful handling these. And I just feel that's been a common theme with most truly wireless earbuds. They seem to just bounce around your hands a little too easy, and I think it would have been nice to see Sennheiser wrap the earbuds in fabric also. I think that was a missed opportunity to solve that problem, and for that price tag, I mean, you might as well, right? Anyway, so out the box, the earbuds will be in sleep mode from the factory, so you're gonna have to wake them with an initial wall charge. You use the included USB-C cable that they give you. Thankfully, the case supports USB-C charging, so already a welcomed upgrade into my arsenal of gadgets, which means more places that I can charge them, so I'm very happy about that. So you simply just line up those 2 magnetic coils on each earbud, and it snatches them in place, allowing the square coils to make contact with the case, which initiates a charge. Now once in place, you'll notice quite a bit of resistance that keep them there, so even if the case was opened upside down, these earbuds aren't going anywhere, unless of course you drop the case like I did by accident. So the case fell one time, and when it did, the earbuds flew right out like the Jetsons. So if you think those magnets are going to secure the earbuds in place 100%, then that's not the case. No pun intended. So a complete full charge cycle for the case and earbuds is about an hour and a half. And to determine the status, the button on the case gives you the remaining battery life via LED. So to put it simply, whether plugged in or not, pulsing yellow means charging is in progress. Solid yellow indicates it's a good time to recharge. Solid green means both the case and earbuds have sufficient battery. Solid red means everything is drained, and flashing red means that there might be a problem with the battery. And once you get that full charge, you take them out the case and they immediately enter pairing mode, and then you just connect to them as you would any other Bluetooth device. It's pretty straightforward. And once paired, from there on in, they power on each time they're removed from the case, and by the time it reaches your ear, you're already connected. The connection is crazy fast. That's not something you're gonna have to worry about. So Sennheiser gives you small, medium, and large ear tips right out the box, and I'm usually good with the medium tips, so I left them on as they came. They slide in and stay in really well without the need for hooks or anything else, and for me it fits great. I didn't experience any ear fatigue over prolonged use, so that's always a good thing. And they do look a little big compared to some other earbuds, but visually and physically it doesn't bother me as much as it might some other people. Everyone's ear is different, so it's gonna vary from person to person. Now, like most earbuds, these operate off a master/slave setup, meaning that only the master earbud establishes a Bluetooth connection to your device, while the slave connects to the master, and that's how they communicate with each other. So this means that the master, the right earbud, is the only earbud that can be used by itself if you wanted to for mono listening, and not the slave, since the slave depends on the master. And I have my own set of issues with that, which I'll talk about in a bit. I'm very happy about how well these two stay connected, and I didn't find audio to be dipping between the two earbuds like I've experienced on some other earbuds in the past. Also, the range is great. I was able to walk more than 30 feet away from my phone while these still maintained a solid connection. And that's no surprise either, since these are Bluetooth 5.0. You do benefit from that added stability. And it also passed my favorite audio video sync test that I use all the time. That's available here on YouTube. Well, at least it did on the Galaxy S10. On the iPhone, however, I did notice some micro lip sync delays, and I'm not even going to try to analyze why Apple does this, but iPhones paired to any earbuds that are not AirPods often always have delays. So for all my Android people out there, I can confirm that using the Momentums, which are Android device, while watching videos, you won't be experiencing any lip sync issues. So on the topic of connection, one of my favorite features found in earbuds today is the auto pause feature. So when the earbuds are separated, playback stops and it resumes when in proximity again. This works really well with the Momentums. The response time is quick and I can still resume playback even when the earbuds have been separated for about a minute or so. And this comes in handy more often than one would think, because of how practical and natural it is, especially when you're out in public. Now, to interact with the earbuds, a single tap on the left earbud is for play pause, a double tap is to skip forward, a triple tap is for the previous track, and touch and hold is to reduce the volume. On the right earbud, the master, touch and hold is to increase the volume, a single tap is to launch your voice assistant, whether it's Siri or Google, also to answer and reject incoming calls, and then double tapping toggles transparent hearing mode, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, I would have preferred if these were physical buttons instead, because touch presents issues of its very own. So single taps, for instance, to work just fine. They're very responsive. However, trying to nail a double or triple tap is almost impossible. It would often break it up into two separate inputs. So if I were to attempt a triple tap to go back, it would only recognize two taps, therefore skipping forward, and then it'll pause. And it all just takes more practice than I think is necessary, to the point where it becomes unpleasant. I also don't like how you can't customize the touch controls. I'm right-handed, so that's where I would prefer my media controls to be. And I hate to say it, but it's kind of stupid. If the right earbud is the only earbud that allows for mono listening, why not put the media controls on this side? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, you literally won't be able to increase the volume if you're listening to one earbud or skip your tracks, because those controls are only on the left earbud. Now, speaking of tapping, you can tap into more features by installing Sennheiser's Smart Control app. It's a very clean, simple app. There's nothing to be confused by. You're not overwhelmed with settings, which is great. You just get your battery percentage, a digital manual for your controls, equalizer settings, which I leave them on default, and then transparent hearing, which is Sennheiser's ambient mode. And this works by enabling the 5 combined microphones on both earbuds. You have 2 on the left and then 3 on the right. And I honestly found transparent mode to work really well. You can hear everything around you, like the movement, the rustling of your clothes, or the crinkling of papers, or if you brush your hand on the table. All those sounds come in. And for best results, I do recommend listening to your music about halfway, because anything above that, it'll pretty much drown out that feature. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, also another thing, transparent hearing doesn't work during phone calls. And that's a situation where I would have liked for this feature to work. I would have liked to be aware of my surroundings while talking to people, but that's not an option here. So I just thought I'd mention that. Now, speaking of phone calls, I did hear my recipients just fine on my end. However, what people kept telling me was that it did sound like I was far away and that it was obvious that I was using an earpiece. So if phone conversations is something that's important to you, you may want to take that into consideration. Now, the biggest redeeming quality of these earbuds is that they sound great. I played back songs like Digits by Young Thug, the Despacito remix, and Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. Clearly all very different types of music, and all of which sound great on the default equalizer. Everything sounds evenly distributed, the bass is there, you have a good amount of treble, instruments and vocals sound clear, and they also get pretty loud. I'm not an audiophile, but I've listened to enough headphones and earbuds to know that audio-wise, I can highly recommend these to anyone that's looking for an enjoyable listening experience. One major flaw that bugs me out is that you can't turn the earbuds off unless they're inside the case charging. There's no dedicated power button, so if your case is dead with no charger in sight, then you're screwed. Now, if you don't think it gets worse, then think again. Once this case runs out of battery, the earbuds will power on as if you just took them out the case. I realized this the hard way when I noticed that the earbuds kept connecting to my phone while they were still inside the case, and having me wondering, like, why is there music coming from the case? It just was not well thought out whatsoever. I'm not sure what happened during the production phase, but that's a terrible feature to have. Now, on to a little bit of better feedback. As far as the battery goes, Sennheiser claims about 4 hours of use per charge, which I actually found to be true. Now, obviously, battery life has too many variables to accurately measure. I can listen to these for about 3 hours straight on any given day at about 60% volume with transparent mode on, and still have about 50% remaining. On one particular day, I listened to these for about 2.5 hours straight, and still have 55% battery left over. So that just gives you a rough idea of what to expect with day-to-day usage. Now, what I did find weird though is that the app kept reporting uneven battery percentages for each earbud, even though I always listen to both earbuds and charge both of them at the same time. I got a feeling this has something to do with the case, and the reason for that is because The case provides a trickle charge, so when you place the earbuds in, instead of actually turning them off, they're constantly charging them. So if the earbuds lose 2%, it charges 2%. If it loses 5, it charges 5. And it does this to constantly top off the earbuds, so when you take them out, you have a full charge. And that constant power draw eventually adds up and it depletes the battery life of the case, leaving you with a dead battery sooner than you would even expect it to. I wouldn't blame you if that's a deal breaker for you. There's just a lot of things I don't think were well thought out with these, and too many points of confusion and inconvenience for me to justify anyone spending $300 on these. Alright, so in conclusion, if I'm being honest, for me personally, the sound quality of the Momentums outweigh all the case issues that I experienced. The reason is because I don't mind using the battery indicator to let me know when it's time to recharge the case. I have no problem doing that and packing the extra cable. What do you guys think? I want to know if I'm the only one who feels this way towards these earbuds. Let me know down below in the comments section. And if I helped any of you guys make a decision on whether purchasing these earbuds, let me know by showing some love to that like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe and turn on the alerts notification so you don't miss out on some more incredible tech videos. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.